The Positive Side is presented by Infinity of Scottsdale. For over 20 years, Infinity of Scottsdale continues to provide the finest Infinity sales and service. Visit infinityofscottsdale.com. Welcome to The Positive Side, where I'm going to bring you a little bit of life, sports, and entertainment. So sit back and relax. It's showtime. Welcome to The Positive Side. Hi, I'm your host, Roy Garibaldi. And what I'm going to do today is take you back to an event we shot last year that debuted here at Jobbing.com Arena for the very first time. It's put on by one of the youngest and most successful entrepreneurs in the country, let alone one of the big stars in the world of reality TV, including Robin Big, The Fantasy Factory, and yes, even ridiculousness. Let's see, ridiculousness. Yep, that's usually what my friends are saying about me when I'm just blabbing on about nothing. But what this guy has done, he's taken skateboarding, brought it into a new competition called Street League, and he builds an entire competition on the floor of Jobbing.com Arena.
Here's a guy who knows how to work it. When he wants to get something done, that's Rob Dyrdek. And you know what, brother? I'm going to tell you right now.
Go ahead.
I went all over this place from Super Bowls to All-Stars. But when I mentioned to the kids that I was interviewing Rob Dyrdek, brother, I'm Superman at that point.
Yeah. You want to know what? I think that has a lot to do with the fact that I have a place called the Fantasy Factory, which I think is every kid's dream, you know, only it's sort of like, even for adults, you know, it's nice to have a giant playground where you're shooting tennis ball guns and flying into foam pits and kind of do whatever you want, but always working very hard to make sure you can maintain and have it.
Look, to us, you're more of a businessman than a performer, really, than our eyes.
More than you could ever even know. You know, even my television shows are businesses that I created and use, and the television show, as fun and exciting as it is, I still use it to promote all the brands that I own. You know, I own a bunch of companies, a lot of clothing and shoe lines and eyewear and toys and from the league and all my different stuff. So I treat, you know, my entire brand as one big sort of enterprise, and the corporate relationships that I have span all of that. I do deals with brands that go into Fantasy Factory, that go into my foundation, that go into the league and do all different things. So everything that I do is 100% business.
Rob, take us over to MTV. It's really amazing what you've accomplished over there, because really all walks of life know who you are from watching MTV and your reality show.
Yeah. Huge platform, you know, and and not only that, it's total pop culture, you know, but you know, I had originally did Robin Big, and it got so big so quick, and I was like, whoa, I don't want to confuse the world. Like, I wrote this as sort of a joke. This is like, I wrote it for a skate video, it became a show, but my problem was I knew I was so much more, you know, and so I said, look, I can't do the show anymore. Like, I don't want this to be what I'm known for. I just want this to be something I did, which led to, you know, me actually selling them another show at the time, which led to, but them still saying, we do a reality show, do a reality show. I said, okay, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it about my businesses, but here's my idea. I'm gonna be the Willy Wonka of skateboarding, and I'm just gonna build this giant playground, and I'll produce it the same way, and it went on to be a great success. And for me, it was less about that and just like what I represented myself to the world as, you know what I mean? I didn't want people to think that I didn't do anything all day but hang out with like my big homie and my dog and my horse, you know what I mean?
I mean, but that's what kids remember. I mean, you think about it, people probably still ask you about your pony. They're still probably seeing if media has learned any flip tricks on a skateboard after you taught them how to do that. But I think that's what everybody loved about it, was that you got an idea, or you thought about it and said, you know what, I'm gonna make this a reality. And I think, to me, a lot of people want to go there.
Yeah, and, well, I mean, but I call it wish fulfillment television, you know, and that's what sort of Robin Big was, where it's like, I wish I had the money to just like do what I wanted and have a big homie and a bodyguard and do all this. And I feel like Fantasy Factory is that. It's still wish fulfillment television, only it's on such a grander scale with huge like celebrity guests and showcasing these big businesses and stuff from Street League to Wild Grinders to all these different things that I have. So at its core, it is just that. Like, man, I wish I could do that. That'd be so much fun to go and have a dodgeball tournament with all my friends and have a donkey as a mascot and be called the Dodge and Devil donkey. It's random, you know, but it's still, I did that in an episode around, you know, showing my receptionist as getting tough and, you know, her having a part to play in my cartoon. So there's still a business message, you know, involved in all that fun.
What I see in you, though, is that next generation. This is the YouTube generation, the video internet generation. You've taken that and just grabbed it and been able to take it even to a bigger mass.
Yeah, and what I'm trying to do is by having something like Street League and starting to build up our young stars and build a fan base that actually understand and love to watch the sport, and that if they want to try it, they have a place to go do it. That's the only way that it's ever going to grow and sustain that growth long term.
One of the things you talked about it today, you were out, donated a park today. As a matter of fact, what they were building behind us right now, parts of this is going to be in somewhere local, in some local park. Tell me about that, and where'd you come up with that idea?
Well, I mean, you know, the reality of it is what we build here is incredible. It's a full concrete urban plaza built in 4 days that's only up for 3 days, you know, so what I did was take a lot of this, the concrete isn't reusable, but all the metal fabrication is. And what I did is I donated that to the city of Phoenix and then designed this beautiful permanent skate plaza around it. So the kids now that opened today, so now kids get to skate the exact same thing they saw the world's best skate last year. Now they can skate it in their local community. And for me, it's about the growth and sustainability of skateboarding. Like as it continues, this is to showcase the best in the world, and then let's build them the places in the community so they can go emulate what they see their favorite pros do in a safe and legal environment.
You know, there's a lot of athletes that really don't get your foundation, Rob Dyrdek Foundation. What really makes you tick with that?
What comes with fame and notoriety is you have a lot of access to do a lot of good things, you know, and for me, I wanted to hop on the cause that's the biggest problem that affects me personally, and it's not the, you know, like a life or death, it's just the sheer love of skateboarding. The reality of it, there's very few places to do it in the world, and I'm about changing that and building it. We built 8 so far, including today, making 9, and it's just the reality of that's my movement. I just want, everywhere we all skate is illegal, and I'm trying to just make these replicated, real beautiful urban environments that are safe and legal for kids to skate.
You see, when I told you that Rob Dyrdek was a young entrepreneur who's extremely successful, I wasn't kidding. When we come back, we're going to take you right down to where he's building the complete set for all the competition in Street League. The positive side is presented by Burns Pest Elimination. That's right, I said eliminating. They're not controlling, they're eliminating those pesky pests with your satisfaction guaranteed. Hey, if you get a chance, check out our brand new website, positiveside.tv. In it, you'll have an opportunity to win some Studio Movie Grill tickets. Let's see, maybe some Knight Rider t-shirts. Oh, and by the way, we're going to be debuting our brand new logo and yes, some brand new t-shirts for both men and women in all different styles. All you got to do is go to the website, positiveside.tv, and enter to win today. Welcome back to the positive side. All right, before we went to break, I promised you I was going to take you down to the floor where Rob Dyrdek is building and creating all the obstacles for the Street League competition. What I didn't tell you is this young man is taking his fortunes and finding a way to give from his heart and help out some of the kids right here in the community.
Hey, you know what's amazing is this is actually concrete. I mean, these guys are in here laying this on this floor, which, you know, look at this.
Just know that no other contest in the history of action sports, no X Games, no Dew Tour, no one has ever spent the money or the time to build a full, real concrete course. Like, the sport evolved inside that urban environment. This is more replicating a handrail in Century City, Los Angeles. This is like a schoolyard outside of Scottsdale. You know what I mean? It's like taking these, like natural architecture will form something that makes it perfectly skatable. And basically what we're doing is we're creating what's skatable. You'll never find anything like that in the natural streets or a skate park. This is all built one of a kind, each and every one of these stops. And the beauty about it is is I would equate it to how like they would talk about golf courses, right? And a golf course just playing incredibly difficult because the greens are extra fast and the fairways are so long, you know. And it's like what this course, this particular one is everything's super big and really hard to skate. So it's going to really change the dynamic and the style of the skating that's going to happen at this event than the other events.
How'd you get them to buy in? And when I say that is, I mean, no matter where you go, once you get to it, so you mentioned it yourself, these are they're earning millions of dollars, and they're coming together to say, you know what, I know what you're talking about, I want to be a part of that.
It's because I've done so much work, I'm from the sport, and I have created, it's so innovative, but yet makes so much sense to not only the pro skateboarders because they want something like this so bad, but to the sponsors and to my partners and people that I'm with, like, that are just like, this is the future of our sport. And the reality of it is skateboarders, you know, don't really want to be mixed into they don't want to be action sports. Skateboarders want to be skateboarding, and they want to walk into this world. You know, look at this. This is like, we're inside jobbing.com arena in this giant, like, when the crowd's going and these guys are putting it down for 150,000. Understand this, the Dew Tour's first prize is $15,000. Okay, it's like the total prize money for the tour is like $250,000. This is $1.6 million, $150,000 first prize, and only 10 guys from this third contest make it to our Super Bowl, where it's a winner take all for a $10,000 watch and ring and a $200,000 first prize. Like, it's a big deal.
Is the dream, because you talked about this already, look, we're in jobbing.com arena, but is the dream when that little 10-year-old, 8-year-old then comes in here and says to you, hey bud, I was sitting in that seat when I saw P-Rod win the whole thing, or when I saw you turn around and make sure it happened?
You just gave me chills. You just gave me chills. You put so much passion in it. 100%. But check this out for a really weird thing. Like, you know, this sort of, what do I call this, is a skate plaza, right? And in 2005, I built the very first one in the world, right? And I built it in my hometown in Kettering, Ohio, because I wanted to show the world, like, look, I'm gonna build this little plaza in Ohio, and it's gonna revolutionize the skateboarding worldwide. Now, before it opened, there was like an 11-year-old kid who skated the biggest section and was doing tricks down the biggest section. I was just like, man, who is this little kid? Oh, this is this little kid from Chicago named Chaz. And so I did a documentary, and he was in the documentary. He is now our #2 ranked professional street skater in this league,
old, right?
And now, yeah, at 17 years old. So it's like I've already lived that to a degree, you know, where it's like funny to me looking back, like, oh my God, you know, like 5 years ago that was him, like, or 6 years ago, and I expect that exact same thing, to where, like, this is, because I look at it too, is the way I've structured this is there's historical numbers coming out of these series. Unlike action sports doesn't have that. What makes traditional sports so incredible, it's like if Kobe Bryant scores 25 in the first quarter, we're like, oh my God, he might have a 100-point game. You know, like if it's the playoff game and Kobe Bryant has only had 4 points and we're all the way to the fourth quarter, we know his season average is 32 points, that he's having a horrible game. And all of that data, from average landed scores to consistency ratings to highest scores, all of that is in this format and competition I'm created. So I'm building historical numbers, and not only easily understandable stuff where you can say, like, oh, Ryan Sheckler, he got eliminated in the first section, but he was clearly off his game this week, and he usually skates with a 6.5 average, and he was at a 4.4. He just wasn't on this weekend. It's all that same stuff that eventually fans will be educated with, the same way you know about baseball statistics with batting percentages and ERAs, because it's been around you your whole life, you know, and I'm basically developing all that stuff that will lay the foundation for what this sport is for the next 100 years.
You know, that was really cool for me to watch because I grew up skateboarding as a kid, and trust me, the skateboard I rode on surely didn't look like the skateboards that these guys are flying on these days. I just recently went out and checked out a couple skateboards because I thought they were pretty cool. I'm gonna get myself one, but I'm gonna hang it on the wall for decoration because there's no way I'd get on one because we all know what would happen. And trust me, it wouldn't be good. The thing that is good is what Rob Dyrdek is doing with his fortunes from his reality shows. He's giving back to the community and to the kids to get a chance to experience some of the things they might not ever have a chance to do. That's why you need to bring your son, your grandchildren out to Street League. It's happening July 14th and 15th at jobbing.com Arena. For me, I love buying a ticket, knowing that a young entrepreneur, a young man that has a big heart like Rob Dyrdek, knowing that the money that you're paying for this ticket for entertainment, that he's doing something good with it by making dreams come true for kids. Well, this next segment after this break, well, this might not be exactly something you want your kid or your grandson doing because it's stunt riding on a motorcycle the extreme way. This segment has been brought to you by Pachoni Custom Collision Repair. Hey, how would you like to take your wife out for a movie? Well, chances are you probably haven't taken her around the corner for a walk. So why don't you go to our new website at positiveside.tv and register to win 2 tickets to the Studio Movie Grill in Scottsdale. I know this for sure. She might even let you watch a little bit more sports on the weekend if you do a little something special for her. Welcome back to the Positive Side. All right, we spent the first part of the show watching some of these talented athletes on 4 wheels in the Street League competition, which is coming back here July 14th and 15th at jobbing.com Arena with Rob Dyrdek. This next segment, we see these young men doing some extreme stunt riding on motorcycles. Well, normally a motorcycle has 2 wheels. Well, these do, but these guys sometimes use less than that.
Doing some stunt shows here. It's Kane Friesen, Ryan Hocko from Canada. Out there just performing some silly human tricks on our Ninjas, Kawasaki ZX6Rs. Wheelies, stoppies, burnouts, riding backwards, having a good time, entertaining. It's a good time.
I was stalling on the wall where the crowd is. All that stuff getting right up in people's faces so they enjoy it. Everything you're gonna see this weekend is what nobody wants you to do on a motorcycle, what you're not supposed to see. And we're doing it in controlled areas, safe, all full gear on, and just tearing it up.
I've been doing this now for 11 years, 7 years professionally. I wouldn't have sponsors like Geico, for instance, if I was out there on the I-15 ripping wheelies, you know. There's a lot of stigma about what we do. They call us squids, and rightfully so, but there's been a few of us, myself, Hocko, and a lot of others, who've actually created a sport now. It's real competitions, closed course. People like to see what we do, so do it safely over here. And we get to talk to the bikers who know, they're normal street riders, and they see what we do, and they can appreciate the talent now that we're not out there cutting them off on their baggers and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
I started like any other rider, trying to show off on the street, trying to do this. And then when I got more serious about it and companies started taking interest in what I do, I took it totally off the street. My bike isn't street legal, it's in closed course areas only, and I just ride because my sponsors don't appreciate me in handcuffs at all.
I have a real do as I say, not as I did story. I bought a bike when I was 18 because they were cheap, fast, cool. Pull up next to a cute girl on a car or a school bus with kids, and I was doing wheelies and I was doing stoppies, and then I got 16 reckless drivings, been arrested 3 times for it. I grew up real fast. I turned 20, 21 years old, and I realized that if I wanted to be able to even have a license and continue to do what I do, grab a brain. I started focusing on other riders who had already paved the way for me to get to where I'm at, and we've all pushed each other. I was the first factory-sponsored stunt rider in North America 5 years ago now, and the new guys above and who are the up-and-comers like Hocko here, they're going to take it even further than I ever did, and that's just the way it goes. Our biggest goal has always been X Games. I know it's hard for some motorcyclists to understand because they try to do a wheelie. The whole time they're doing a wheelie, they're like freaking out about, oh, my tire's up, my gas, my brake, oh my God, I want to, you know, like their brain goes fast because it's like such an adrenaline rush. We've got to the point where we can literally be doing wheelies, be like, oh, did I do laundry today? and you start like it's our zero time. You know, you can just zone out and have a good time. And some enjoy it on 2 tires, some of us enjoy it on 1 tire.
Yeah, it's like our second nature. Doing a wheelie is like walking down the street. Our hands and our movements just do it, and that's what everybody sees.
Well, that's it for the positive side. You know, it doesn't take a lot of effort to be nice to someone. And in return, watch how people start being nicer to you. And that's exactly what the positive side is all about. So for this entire cast that makes the positive side so much fun, I'm Roy Garibaldi. Why don't you go out and make it a great Father's Day weekend? Well, he's the star of Robin Big. How about Fantasy Factory? And I'm ridiculous. How ridiculous is it? What is it? Ridiculous? Lumptious? Ridiculous? What is it called? Dyrdek, which is coming back here to the Valley to jobbing.com.tv. This is one website that truly, 3 times I was struggling with that. I need some water and I need my chapstick. I'm gonna come up with a new commercial now that, positive side. Let's see. Positive side water. That will make your day.
It just boils down to who you are. I think that's the beauty of even skateboarding. We have every range of person in there, from pretty boys to hardcore gangster kids, you know, and it's just.
Yes, I can skateboard. Give me.
You know what I mean? And to a guy that loves a nice chain and some Freedom Eagles. You know what I mean? Like, you're good.
Doesn't matter. Hey, it's clean, man. What can I say? Positive side water. Wow. I feel positive already. It's going to be a positive day. What a dork. It's on my forehead showing, I know. I can feel that thing cyclopsing right out.
I don't see that at
It's
all.
the biggest bug that bit me. I think it was a helicopter that came in and landed on my forehead.
That's exactly what happened.
I'm serious. Welcome to the positive side. I'm your host, Roy Garibaldi, with 2 of the 3 Stooges today. That's Cole and Zoe.
Ridiculousness. Okay. Just think of you.
How'd it go?
Good. Give me one more like that.
All right, here we go. Whatever.
Whatever.
There's our bloopers. All right, here we go. The positive side is presented by Burns Pest Elimination. That's right, I said eliminating. They're not controlling, they're eliminating those pesky pests with your satisfaction guaranteed.